What type of bicycle has 5-inch tyres on 4-inch rims, bigger than Royal Enfield Classic 350? Well, watch out and you'll see.
Morning, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I'm back out cycling finally after a kind of 2-month break, apart from our weekend in Aberdeen. I thought I'd nip out this morning. It's Friday, forecast is dry, low tide right now, 0 point, what is it? Have a look on the photo. There it is. So what else is happening? Well, as you can see, my bikes have never changed. I've kind of enjoyed having a wee break for them, so I thought I'd have a wee pedal on a Mutter on 2 wheels, leg powered this morning. So it's these bikes which started my YouTube channel, and that was back in 2007 or 8 I think, when I got what would be the very first one of these bikes that later termed as Fatbikes, but at the time they were just known as Sand Snow Adventure bikes. Surly Bikes, original company, made them for going on adventures where normal bikes just won't go. I'll just stick this down in gear here. Older cyclists will know what that is. That's a thumb shifter. I'll explain why I use them later on. So I've owned a lot of these bikes over the years, bought and sold, rebuilt them, sold them on to other folk. I've now got my two of the last produced Surly Pugsley bikes, the two. G's got one of these in a size medium, which I've got powder coated pink for her. This one is a large, fits me like a glove. But I've kind of come to the conclusion that my fat bikes and beach riding is really going to become, for me, more a autumn to spring pastime, especially midwinter. You get those lovely high pressure weather days where you're not going to bother taking your Jeep out because it's cold, or go out in Royal Enfield, the roads are all caked in crap. Not that I really worry, as you know, I used my bike for last year, but enjoy those hobbies in the warm weather. Let's go and have a look at the surf down here. So you can get surf lessons here, Bellhaven Surf School. Hire boards, surfboards and paddle boards. So I never thought the beach riding would take off as it did when I first got mine. I kind of looked at like I was from Mars when I traded in my downhill mountain bike for one. But you know, downhill mountain biking, it's for young folk, young bendy lightweight people, and people with a lot of spare money. It's more expensive than motorbiking, that's the joke. These though, once you've built them, they cost next to nothing to run. Here you go, watch this. You shouldn't be able to cycle over things like that. The sand is so through that. So, these bikes weigh about 30 to 35 pounds, which isn't that light. But what they have is a centrifugal mass, where the wheels are the same height as a 29-inch mountain bike, and they have like a flywheel effect. Once you get them rolling, you just steamroller over everything. Down this salt marsh here. It's quite deep in there actually. So they're treated for rust inside the frames. I use Lano Guard on a lot of parts as well. The chains are on a dry lube. The best stuff we found is stuff called squirt dry lube. So let's get across here. And sand then doesn't stick to the chain, which, as you can imagine, would just cause the normal oil, like a grinding paste, that would just destroy your drive chains.
Okay, so we'll just pull up, stop, and have a quick chat about how I managed to come across these bikes all that time ago. And it was actually a magazine article that featured them, and it was one of those light bulb moments. You just think, that's exactly what I need for the coast of East Lothian. Which will explain how it all came about now.
Single Track magazine had come through the door. Now I was getting a bit bored of Single Track because it was all about £1,000 forks and £3,000 frames, just nuts, you know. It's all about willy waving, eh? Who can peer the wall highest in that with mountain biking? Sadly is. So opened the page and there it was, Surly Pugsley. There's a video of the magazine right there. Just cut to that now. And I just had to get one, and I just thought I can ride all these beaches, and that's where it started. So I've still got that original bike. The originals were purple, then they made them battleship grey. Mine came grey, I missed the first delivery. However, a purple one came up, and here it is. This is the purple one, and that's the first 5-inch tyre bike. This, when that was the Surly Moonlander. So the new Pugsley fits those wheels, so it was just a total no-brainer to now ride these. So things you might notice, the wheels are offset because they still use 135 front and back rear hubs. Back in the 90s that was your standard mountain bikes. They've all went massive now, big wide hubs. I like it because the hubs are narrow, so your mech's tucked in, so when I ride through all the rock sections and stuff on the beach, you're not rattling your mech off. If you do rip your mech off, because it's got a horizontal chain, you can cut your chain and make a single speed, and or it's got reversible wheels. So there's 2 gear choices on a fixed cog. So you can swap the wheels round and single speed it. And a lot of the Alaskan racers that race a Idita bike ride them single speed when it's really cold, so they don't have their gears freezing up. The thumb shifters, if you use a plastic thumb shifter, as soon as the bike falls in wet sand, you'll get like a grinding paste inside the mech, the thumb shifter rather, and it will just chew up the plastic inners. These are brilliant, these are bomb-proof, fit and forget. Stainless steel chain rings, quite hard to get them now from America, but these are really good clean. And these are new chain. I've actually got a bigger cog, that's a 46, I've actually got a 50 to put on, get even lower gearing, because this is nothing like normal cycling. You just got to slow down. Think your Royal Enfield Classic 350, right? Think the Willis Jeep. Forget about modern road speeds, modern cycling speeds. It's a different world, different type of adventure. What else? Brakes, I run BB7 mechanical brakes. No hydraulic cables, nothing that fail. More sort of fixing the field, simple type thing. Frame bag, everyone seems to think these are electric bikes, they're not. So these are frame bags for going on adventure stuff, so you can put all your tools are in there, spare tube, tools. That's all my tools in there, everything you need. Pump, patches as well. Got a spare tube. The wheels aren't tubed though, they're tubeless. If you notice that. So this is what we call Gettle tubeless. This is how you make a tubeless setup where a bike doesn't have tubeless specific rims. So that's a 24-inch inner tube and a 26-inch rim. So you put it on, inflate it and it's tight, and you cut it right round the centre. Obviously it deflates, it folds in half over the side. Put your tyre on, inflate it, and then you trim it. The videos on it, I'll put a link in this film below. And that's basically about riding fat bikes. The thing I like about these, the Surleys, Still use traditional inch and eighth headsets, 135 rear hubs, and square taper bottom brackets allow you to run any crankset. There's no specialist parts out width of the width of that bottom bracket. So if I'm on, say, the Isle of Skye and I break something, and go to a normal family bike shop that just sells regular mountain bikes, I'll be able to get it repaired. Even if the bearings fail in the 145 bottom bracket, you just got a normal one, a 100 bottom bracket, standard one. Just knock the bearings out, put them in. And this is what me and G have done all our beach riding on since we met. So there you go. So let's go to the beach. Quite fancy to see if I can find any World War II cartridge shells today. A couple of Hispanos would be nice for the collection. Okay. So a few other things about this bike. Because they're designed originally for snow and icy conditions, the steering's really slow, which makes them really stable, less twitchy on like slidey rocks and surfaces. And they handle really well being loaded up with weight. So you'll see us in our bike packing exploits. We've got our front bag on, rear bag on, rain bag full, a couple of litres of water each. And off we go on our micro adventures. And they handle everything amazing. We went over the Koreanic Pass on them. If you know that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now folk do that on those gravel bikes, but they don't do it usually with the weight of multiple day supplies like we have done. So it's lovely, nice quiet day. So this salt marsh would have been all sand in World War II, which is why there are those grider poles right across it, see them? They're all been cut down after the war, obviously. So that shows you how the coast changes. And this was an island, Duck Island. There's a little pillbox on it. Here's where you see the row of glider poles right in front. So they'd be about 16-18 foot tall when they're put up. Makes short work of a glider coming in anyway. We'll catch you up at the wee burn up here. Here we go, low tide, John Muir. So rewind to World War II. This was all closed to the public. This was the West Barnes Ranges. We've got the bylaw for it. And that's how we found that concrete F sign in the wood. Bit of detective work. So this was all live fire going on here. So obviously there's no trees then. There's big sand dunes up there that were all cleared after the war. They all went to a glass factory in Fife. The whole place is littered in spent ammunition. 303s mostly, the odd 9mm, and the gem of the gem is old Hispano 20mm. Picked a lot of them up. We spend hours cycling about out here looking for them. A lot of folk will pick them up walking their dogs as well. So you're actually looking for the oxidised slightly and they'll go a bit blue. And that's the bit you need to try and catch your eye, is the blue. So we're right at the mouth. Pepper's round the corner of the mouth, but you wade across there. The reason I've stopped is, there you go, that is a 3-inch mortar fin. Quite a good example with all the, still got the holes in it. So what happens with these is if you leave them outside, they tend to grow. We've got some in our back garden and they're massive now. They just all foosed up. But that's a good example of one. I'll leave it for someone else. He's fine though. So that's the only stuff you'll find at this end. Must just be so much movement here with the sand and stuff. But you can see how much it moves, churns around. The tide, it roughly stays the same shape on the maps as it does in real life, but it does meander quite a bit around here. But we'll get round the corner, catch up soon. Look at this. Amazing, eh? that'll be really soft down there. That's the sort of stuff that you'll actually pull your shoe off walking through. Soaked, just saturated. But this moves all the time here. I've seen this just going straight into the Tyne. Tyne's pushed right across this now. So that's officially the estuary mouth at the rocks. But yeah, bit different for yous. Forecast to stay dry today, sunnier later, so I'll definitely get out of my Enfield I think this afternoon, and possibly the Jeep. I need to go to the shops again, so that's an excuse to get the Jeep fired up, go down the harbour with it. So I'm going to sign out, and I'm just going to finish the film with some music and some bike riding, letting you see this bike do the business. So thanks for watching. Even if you're not interested in cycling, I hope you've watched this here. The wee insight for you is on a bike which has wider tyres than the Royal Enfield 350, 5-inch. Yeah, okay, on with some music and some riding. Catch you all soon. Bye for now.